Yama, everyone. As I said before, my name is Kisani Upwood. I am a proud Gamilaraay Wiradjuri woman from Tamworth. I am a mother, an artist, a registered nurse, and I've recently submitted my thesis for a doctorate in philosophy here at the University of New England. I now stand before you as a senior research officer of the Djuarli Centre for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Health Research and Education, and a First Nations representative of the Manna Institute. Today, I invite you to journey with me into a world of decolonised Indigenous health research, where creative translation and Aboriginal health and wellbeing converge. This path weaves through the rich tapestry of art, illustrating the profound impact of creative storytelling and research dissemination. As I speak, a slideshow of photographs and artworks from the Guwiinbarraan exhibition will unfold on the screen behind me. I've included this feature in my presentation as not just visual aids, as they are the heart and soul of our research, capturing the profound connections between my co-researchers, the Nucoorilma mob of Tinga, their country and their community. This exhibition stands as the most significant output of my PhD project, embodying the essence of our findings. Decolonised Indigenous research is more than an academic pursuit. It is a transformative process that seeks to dismantle colonial structures and elevate Indigenous voices and knowledge systems. Central to this approach is the concept of reciprocity, which transcends traditional academic boundaries to foster respectful, equitable, and long-term engagement with communities. This methodology emphasises right-way research, respecting the vulnerabilities of our co-researchers, integrating collaborative methods, and bringing Indigenous Western knowledge systems, bridging. My PhD project, Guwiinbarraan, means close to fire in Gamilaraay, and which aimed to conceptualise Solastalgia through an Indigenous lens as an offering for hope and change. Solastalgia is a term that describes the profound feeling of emotional distress caused by environmental change. My research began as an inquiry into whether the described sense of homesickness resonated with the Nucoorilma mob, particularly after the experience of the 2019-2020 Black Summer bushfires. Throughout this project, we conducted yarning sessions, took photographs, and curated stories. My role as an immersed observer was to creatively render our findings into translational art forms, which ultimately led to a unique qualitative framework that not only captured the community's experiences, but also empowered them by amplifying their voices publicly and loudly. Art and health research are profoundly interconnected. Art serves as a powerful medium for expressing complex emotions and experiences that words alone cannot convey. In the Guwiinbarraan project, art was integral in both the research process and dissemination. The creation of photographs, stories, and artworks derived from research provided an outlet for emotional expression and a tool for healing. The exhibition served as a platform that invited the broader community to engage with and conceptualise the lived experiences of the Nucoorilma people. This approach facilitated a deeper connection between the community and the research, disseminating the findings in a way that resonated on an emotional and cultural level. Art in research dissemination goes beyond traditional academic presentations. It transforms research into a shared experience that can inspire change and foster empathy. By presenting research findings through exhibitions, visual storytelling, and multimedia platforms, we can reach a wider audience and create a lasting impact. This method challenges the conventional boundaries of research communication and highlights the importance of integrating diverse ways of knowing and being. Amplifying Aboriginal voices is crucial in this context. The stories, experiences, and perspectives of Aboriginal communities must be at the forefront of research and its dissemination. The Guwiinbarraan project emphasises this by ensuring that the voices of the Nucoorilma peoples were not only heard but celebrated. Their resilience, strength, and deep connection to country are powerful narratives that need to be shared widely. In addition to the exhibition, we also had the opportunity to create an incredible film with videographer Mike Terry, which I would like to share with you all. This film, which can be found on YouTube, is titled The Guwiinbarraan Project, Connection to Country in Nucoorilma, and captures a profound relationship between country and community, which is so important to identity, well-being, and resilience.
A lot of the countryside now has been ravaged by mines, fires and things like that, you know, and it's just one of those things that we need to be out there. The land, our country looked after us growing up, now it's our turn to look after our country. We had freedom, we can go where we wanted, hunting, food collecting, food gathering, just enjoying being kids, you know, and coming here into town and everything's different. What stopped us from going out? You really want to know? Well, sometimes it's the Aboriginal Council or Land Council, you know, and sometimes it's other things, but you know, we hear different things, and you know, it makes us sad that people are like this and we can't go back out in the country and, you know, just enjoy the day. But a lot of bureaucrats and bureaucratic procedures and everything like that, you know, just seems to kill off that moment when you actually go out there and you can feel alive again and feel that freedom, that, you know, and to think that now you're going out, you're looking over your shoulders for someone to come and hunt you off, you know, and yeah, that's what hurts the most.
You feel so relaxed when you're out on country. The worlds of everything else just goes when you're on country. The worries. It's just such a good feeling. Because when we were growing up, we were taught those things to, you know, to go out and just to look for like medicine and just the familiar things that are around. Like we found a kangaroo print out there today, and it's really good to go out there and just do all that, you know, show your kids what you've experienced over the time that you grew up.
The feeling was just unbelievable, getting out, you know, going to places where you haven't been before, or showing your son what it's like. Yeah, well, I think it's important just because of our background, you know, like growing up, knowing country and having to be able to explain, like, to my sons and nieces and nephews, like, yeah, just to, you know, that there's more to life than video games, really. And being out on country, yeah, just, I love it. There's nowhere you'd rather be but out and about and exploring.
You can feel the difference. Like in town, you got all the stress of what goes on in town, and where out in the country, you can just lay back and relax and sit and enjoy the peaceness of what you experience out on country.
Just reliving the memories of the times that we spent out there. They might not seem a lot to some people, but to us, or to me especially, it was my way of life, and it still is. It's a beautiful moment going back out and, you know, knowing that it's still there, and knowing that we can still go there. And that's the way we want it to stay that way. You know, don't block it up. Don't fence it. Don't fence it off. Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah, it was good. I just wish we can do it more often, like as a group, not just as a group, but as a family. You know, we used to do it back in the days, but it's just, yeah, falling apart, really. Yeah, like losing the elders that, you know, used to go out every weekend and having that connection with the elders. And yeah, I think we're going to come back together, and you know, it's only going to be bigger and better throughout the years we still around. And yeah.
Every time I watch it, it hits me. Thank you. And I hope this presentation inspires you to consider the invaluable contributions of Indigenous knowledge and the arts in understanding and addressing the complex challenges we face today, particularly in Aboriginal health research. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you. Yes. I'll just give you a microphone. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Just my question was how you found your journey of doing this type of research in, you know, which is, I think, amazing. And I love what you said about impact when you're working through the medium of arts and actually breathing the outcomes into culture so that people really feel and can benefit from your work. And my question is really, how did you navigate the tension with the traditional academic environment who are struggling to catch up to where you already are? Because I'm aware it's a challenge, and you're really it seems like breaking trail and trying to carve almost a new path. But I'd love to hear your reflections on that journey.
That is a brilliant question. I'm extremely fortunate that I have incredible supervisors. Professor Kim Usher, Professor Myth Maple, and Dr. Vicky Saunders. So Vicky was my cultural mentor and continues to be. Her background is poetic inquiry, and she has been such a huge inspiration and an advocate for what I do. All of my supervisors have been extremely supportive, even with backgrounds in mental health, nursing research and social work and that sort of thing. They valued my perspectives, whether they be alternative or Western. And, you know, they're the ones who really paved the way for me to be able to do what I do. As a student, you don't have much power or position to be able to advocate for yourself. So really, like, your supervisors are so very important to be able to, you know, allow you to go down that path. I went into research with only my nursing background, but also my lived experience and my background as an artist. And through that, you know, I couldn't separate the two, because when you're an Aboriginal researcher in this Western academic sort of world, it's hard to separate the two. You have to join them together. And so, you know, art it naturally became a part of what I did. And, you know, going out to Tinga, talking to community, that sort of thing, as part of co-research, you ask the community what they want and how they want that research to be conducted. And Tinga are very artistic. It's a huge part of what they do and who they are. So we bonded over that shared, you know, goal of doing something artistic and creative. And that's where we were able to, you know, tailor the research approach, which meant that, you know, the journey was collaborative. We all kind of went through it together. But again, like, my thesis, for example, is a thesis by publication. But I do label it a non-traditional thesis because it does have a lot of photographs. And, you know, my artworks are all part of it. Unfortunately, you can't know who your examiners are, so you don't have the ability to invite them if you have an art exhibition or something like that. So you have to figure out alternative ways to be able to incorporate the two together. But there is a way to be able to have that, you know, creative sort of element mixed in with your, you know, traditional publications. So it's a joining of the two worlds together, and it works really well. And that means that you kind of tick in the box and in both directions. Yeah. So hopefully that answered that. Any other questions? Yes.
Oh, sorry. I just had a quick question. You had the exhibition at the Keeping Place earlier in the year in January. How did some of the Tinga mob that participated in your research, what was some of the feedback you had from them about, you know, even participating in the exhibition? You know, did they give you some feedback about that?
Absolutely. It was very well received, not only by the community members that were involved, but also the wider community. We actually had set up a board where people could write their feedback about how they felt that the experience was for them, what they saw in the photographs and the artworks, without actually knowing much about the project. And the feedback, which I call community peer review, was pretty much what we had anticipated, what the messages were that we had hoped would come through in that artwork. But for the Nucoorilma mob, the experience of being able to exhibit their work outside of Inverell was such a huge deal. There's not a whole lot of opportunities in the area. So being able to have that platform to express themselves and to be involved in something much bigger, and now, you know, having a film that's on YouTube has just been such an incredible confidence boost. And it's even gone as far as being presented in Barbados at the start of the year at Connecting Climate Minds, which is a global research project on climate change and mental health. So it's getting out there. Their message is getting out there, and it's starting to create big changes within the community. The empowerment, as well as, you know, other organisations hearing about what they're doing and wanting to get involved, grant opportunities, that sort of thing, for the Building the Tinga Community Spirit Aboriginal Corporation, which is their community controlled organisation they've created, which originally came from the aftermath of the Black Summer bushfires. And it's all community driven, and this just kind of goes hand in hand with what they're already doing. And yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger, which is exciting.